It is interesting to hear the song. It's so happy. Oh, because it's a waltz. That's kind of the thing. I guess is that it's a waltz, so it's supposed to be, oh, because she lost tooth. I like how Kill's just missing a tooth. That's great. Like how we all just got brought together. I mean, this is the, hey, if we haven't been getting you, if you haven't been feeling it yet, here you go. We're gonna absolutely destroy you right now. This sequence is beautiful. This, though, I forgot that Mary saved Omori. Well, he had a fear of water because he jumped in. This, watching her cry. Worried about her brother. Because she loved him so much. You know, and I want to believe that the rest of them were able to stay friends. It seemed like Sunny and Basil would. It would probably take everybody else some time because that's a lot to take in. It's a lot to take in. I feel like Hero, I don't know. For me, Hero is either he would bounce back immediately and be like, I still love you. I'm still down. I want all of us to be together because he's just that compassionate of a person. Or he would take the longest and or never recover because he still misses Mary. Yeah, like he's like still grieving over her so hard. Take a bow. That's everybody who made the game taking a bow right there. Bravo. It's amazing. It's amazing. The game's... I don't know what I'm trying to say here in this one. It's like, the game's amazing. These are just my final sort of closing thoughts. I didn't want to talk over the ending too much in the original part. And I played through it again because I went back to see if what would happen if you went back home, and it's awful and sad and disturbing. I got an achievement for it, but then it also reverted my my title screen. And when title screen changes in games, I love keeping it that way. I want it to stay on the title screen. So, I mean, I guess the implication here is that, like, Basil and Sunny really actually were, like, tearing into each other to a point where Sunny freaking almost lost an eye. Maybe did lose an eye. Like, that's pretty crazy. I wonder if these are all the plants that you can get. I mean, I don't know if these spaces in between are implying that there could be more. I mean, it's pretty full, all things considered. I feel like I always checked on every house every single day. I always made sure to finish side quests and stuff, so I mean, I feel like it should be done. I mean, I guess it's just one of those things, right, where like they had to leave it open-ended. I even called it. Like they're going to totally leave it open-ended whether or not the friends whether or not they forgive Sunny either on the spot or over time. And again, like, that's not really what it's about, right? Like, It's really not about that. Oh, nope. Okay, so he shakes his head like, no. There's no getting away from this. Sonny is completely committed to being open and honest. Which is good. I'm glad. I mean, I doubt any of these other doors are going to open, right? But you never know. The game has a knack for hiding things in every corner. That was another thing, too. This game, oh my gosh. It's just packed with so much stuff. So much extra little stuff, whether it's side quests or just extra areas, side areas, extra, like, treasure and stuff like that. And, loot everywhere. Loot and secret bosses everywhere. Listen, people, future game designers, current game designers, people who like games and their design, listen, you want to make a good RPG? Fill it. Fill it to the brim with equipment that acts interchangeable, equipment that acts like you building a character, instead of just the generic, this one just gives you a little bit more defense, and then you keep getting ones that give you a little bit more defense. Having items that give you these big drastic boosts and the extra things, right? Like starting a battle mad, starting a battle sad. The more energy you have, the higher your attack. The more energy you have, all your stats go up. Those kinds of things go so far beyond just being like your typical, oh, well, I'm in a new town, so I'm going to go to the blacksmith and he's going to have the next chest piece, and the next chest piece is going to be better than the one I got from the previous town, and then when I go to the next town, that one's going to give me more. No, look, put extra abilities, put extra things on your equipment to make it feel unique and to make it make sense to have all the equipment, to hold on to everything, and to pick and choose. I was constantly swapping out equipment on my characters. And I got some crazy builds. I feel like I found a very unique setup. Obviously, I'm sure it started getting a little repetitive there at the end, but I was so strong. I was so like juiced out of my mind that I didn't need much more setup than what I was doing there at the end. I could have just spammed basic attacks and it would have worked. And then secret bosses. Dude. Put unique enemies. Put secret bosses. Put them everywhere. Put not secret bosses. I mean, yeah, of course put secret bosses as well. Put optional bosses, though, everywhere. Fill your game with optional bosses. Because optional bosses are fun. They're unique. They test you. They're fun to discover. It's great. It's great. Really great option there. Yeah, I don't know if everybody being in here... Well, everybody was already worried about Basil, obviously. My assumption would be that... I mean, they were probably all freaking out about the state of both of us, right? Like... I just wish we could see their faces. I wish we could see... I have to tell you something. I wish we could see the conversation. I want to see the looks on their faces. Give me one look from each of them. But this right here, this credit sequence, I mean, the music, the fact that there's lyrics that go with it. Morning starts without me. I seem to find it hard to wake up. Steadily, my thoughts take hold of me. It's hard to stay awake or fall asleep. There's so much I wish I could take back. Yeah, I mean these lyrics are pretty self-explanatory, right? Something I think is maybe too late. It's Never too late to be open and honest with people. It's gonna be hard. Of course it's gonna be hard. It could be ugly. And listen, sometimes people, if you did something and it truly deeply affected people, sometimes you won't be forgiven. And if you are forgiven, that doesn't mean that person's going to want you to be a part of their life anymore. And that's something that you have to learn to accept as well, you know? Whether they choose to let you into their lives or not from that point on is up to them. No, thank you, OmoCat and everybody in gang. OmoCat and Co. You absolute nonsense people with this game. This little segment is how I'm almost positive. Because I was concerned when I saw that, but then he smiles with a tear in his eye. The fact that this is here too, makes me think that everything is okay. Because everybody else would still be in the room at that point, right? Unless they bailed hard. What a perfect... Man, I'd have this as a wallpaper. This little image right here. This is a good image. I'm gonna remember this image. I like it. Crud, dude. Crud, it was so good. Unbelievably good. Too good, actually. I don't know how to... Where the heck do I go from here? I mean, I could go, finally buckle down and go into the thing that inspired Undertale and Omori and these quirky, the sort of quirk genre, at least of the painful, obviously. I could sit down, play Earthbound, start playing through the Earthbound series. I think I'm gonna still wait on that. I think, well, I mean, for the time being, not after this. This will be done by the time you see this video that I have recorded right here. I will have finished doing this, but from what I need to do right now, starting tomorrow, is start editing through all of these videos, because I have a lot of videos, and I need to edit through them. I need to get them down. Kind of hard to do when you work in a full-time job, but you do what you gotta do. I enjoy this. I enjoy sitting down and rambling into a microphone to nobody. It's like therapeutic, kind of. It's just nice to be able to, like, speak aloud into something. Because I'll be playing games all the time, and I'm constantly thinking of stuff. And I just wish there was somebody sitting there that I could talk at and work things out with. So I like watching movies with people. So I like playing games with people. Any games, not like multiplayer games even, just like games in general. Next on the list as far as games go, though, which schedule-wise a little tight here, but Metroid Dread is on its way. As well as it just being the Halloween season in general. I wanted to do a Metroid Legacy. I've never played the 2D games all the way through. I've played Other M all the way through, which, say what you will about that one, I enjoyed it. I think it's cool. I'm not gonna talk about it like the writing is super good or the dialogue's good. The dialogue's freaking. Ooh. I played through Metroid Prime 3, Corruption, all the way through, but I've never played the 2D ones, so I bought all of them on my Wii U. Recording that's going to be a little different. Gotta actually bust out the Elgato capture card. Have not used that since Jimmy Neutron. I need to edit the Jimmy Neutron videos too. Those ones they're like more heavily edited down. So like, you know, these RPG videos with Final Fantasy VII in this game, I just talk for like 2 hours straight, and then I just like lightly edit it. You know, I'm not like putting in jokes and stuff like that. Jimmy Neutron attacking the Twonkies. One, it's the first thing I recorded, so I kind of, you know, I need to put a little more work into that, because, you know, it wasn't super, didn't have a whole lot of interesting stuff to say. I was getting the groove of talking to myself out loud. And also, that game could just use a little help as far as being entertaining and being a little comedic goes. And I have a lot of ideas of how to make certain parts funny. So, I'm gonna do that, but I don't know. Don't expect that anytime soon. It's on the list. But next is Metroid Legacy. And those I'm probably just going to literally sit down and not... I doubt I can play through the games in one sitting. Maybe the first two can be played in one sitting. But yeah, that will include the first Metroid, second Metroid, Samus Returns, Metroid Fusion. For the first game, I'm gonna play Zero Mission because that's just like the nicer version to play, you know. Oh, and then that's what I was forgetting. Obviously, Super Metroid. That's gonna be the really cool one to play. The other ones, obviously, like they're good, they're fine, and people like them. Fusion, I've heard mixed things about, but Super Metroid, that is obviously the like magnum opus game in the series. My friend just played it recently, and they absolutely loved it. They said it holds up completely. It was good beginning to end. So I'm excited for that. Yeah. I like to stay on the optimistic side of things. After the reveal of what happened to Mary, I genuinely thought that there was no way this game was going to end with any amount of hope. Of hope for a bright future or optimistic outlook on anything. I thought it was just going to be tragic and horrible. And that is an ending. Tragic and horrible and depressing and disturbing is an ending. Because of course it is. You have to throw that in there. It's your like RPG Maker style horror game, right? You gotta have the bad endings in there. Even Ib has them. But what I like about Ib is what I like about this game, where Ib had a very happy ending that you could get if you worked for it. Same thing with this game. It's okay to get dark, get serious. And hey, if you want to make something that's just dark and serious all the way through, that's totally fine. All right, I love some really depressing movies. All right, but it's okay to end on a high note. It is. It's fine. It's okay to do that. I mean, you know, things are already hard enough as it is, right? You don't want to make things one for one with reality all the time. And I think what this game had was a very good balance of being very honest and grounded with friendships and growing up and loss and grief and drifting apart from people, losing people in a group of friends. And then honestly, it seemed like I felt like it handled grief and guilt extremely well. And sort of, I think it had a very good I feel like it handled and had a very good outlook on moving past trauma and moving past guilt and learning to forgive yourself for mistakes or for accidents that happen, you know. This one, obviously, this focused around a very big one. This was not a small thing at all. This was not an easy thing for anybody to handle. I could not imagine if I accidentally got one of my friends killed. Like, that would absolutely break me, you know. But I think it was important to point out that this group of friends are friends. The accident was towards his sister, and as we saw in that montage, his sister has nothing but unmatched love for her brother. So there's no way she would want anything except for happiness for him. Because, you know, honestly, that's probably the hardest thing to stomach. I feel. When you feel extreme guilt, I feel like it's easier when people hate you for it, when they push down on you for it, when they're angry at you for it. I feel like it's easier. I feel like it's harder to stomach people accepting you full on, forgiving you immediately. It's harder to accept forgiveness, I think, than it is to accept people's anger. Forgiveness is just harder to take when you don't feel like you deserve it, you know? Dang. Well, oh, I mean, it goes without saying, the art was amazing. The fact that they had animated cutscenes was great. I loved the mixed media look. It was awesome. The pixel art was good. I like the pixel art style, you know? It's not like the most crazy or amazing pixel art I've ever seen, right? But I think what it did have was a good art style. It had really good art direction and very consistent art direction. But the pixel art aside, everything else though, all the battle stuff, all the close-ups, all the cutscenes, all of the animations, all of the mixed media stuff was phenomenal. Absolutely my favorite part as far as the art of the game goes. But overall, I mean, just it had a very strong look, a very strong art style, and it was very consistent with it all the way throughout, and that's always good. Always good. Definitely delivered on the horror stuff, you know. I was excited for it to get a little spooky, and when it got spooky, I was extremely uncomfortable. Of course, I was always playing at night, which probably didn't help, but I really loved the juxtaposition of all like the happy, whimsical, nonsensical dream stuff, and then just sprinkling in some mind-bogglingly disturbing stuff here and there. That train sequence still gets me every time I think about it. I still get chills when I think about that train sequence. It's messed up. It's messed up. Well, Sunny, Kel, Aubrey, Hero, Basil, and Mary, and Omori. It has been my pleasure. Till next time.